So it's Labor Day, um, and I thought today would be a good day to finally do a tour. We haven't done in a while. We missed a lot, but let's start today. And here we're obviously at the pond where the plants have done exceedingly well, really too well. It has kept the water from evaporating as much. That's good. But the horsetail, particularly the water celery, really thrived. Um, The water lilies did well, but you never really saw any blooms from them. I know there were some, but you couldn't really see them. So those water lilies are getting separated. A lot of things this year will come out of here, get separated, and I'll create another water feature or maybe two somewhere else or find someone who wants some things from it. But I mean, as far as the plant and the frogs have done really well. There's tons of little frogs everywhere, tons of dragonflies. So, I mean, it's been a success. It's just aesthetically, I think I would like a little less plants in here. And the tomatoes are doing really well. They always tend to do better in September. They were held back a little this year. Usually what I do during the summer is I start trimming them back, pruning off anything that doesn't look good, any kind of suckers or anything, and open them up. And I didn't get to do that this year, so, but you see it's all trimmed back now because I went about a week and a half ago and really just came in here really hard. If there wasn't a good bud on it, there wasn't a good flower, then it got cut. But we're getting some coming on. This bed is doing the best it's ever done this year, which is good. Things are starting to ripen. We've been getting plenty of cherry tomatoes. They've done well. I need to come through and trim them again. I'll probably come through and top all this. But we'll have a better tomato crop than last year, and it probably would have been really good if I could have stayed on top of it, but I couldn't. There were other more important things to do to keep things going. And we'll look at this bed finally, where there's some different varieties going on here. Got these midnight Romas coming in. Real excited for these guys. Anything that's like a dark red or a brown, those are usually my favorite tomatoes. They're usually sweeter, and I really enjoy them. They just don't last or travel as well, which is why you don't see them in stores. We sacrifice a lot of taste and flavor and variety for the convenience of being able to ship things across the country. Whether or not we should be doing that is another discussion, and also people being conditioned to only want to buy these perfect red ripe fruit that really aren't all that natural sometimes. And here's some cucumbers we planted late that have done really well. I haven't even really watered them a whole lot, but we're going to get some late cucumbers. That's good. The deer left them alone. If you saw the last video and saw the deer on there, they kind of left them alone. So we'll have some cucumbers here shortly. The beans over here did not do as well, but we got a few. Like, we're not going to do anything with that. So yeah, real excited about that. Carrot tops are doing well. I don't know about the carrots. I've not pulled anything up. We haven't had a lot of success with carrots, but we'll see. I think that bed's almost too healthy, but we'll see. Here in this bed, we got some more eggplant coming. We've already picked a good deal of eggplant and ate it. It's been a good year for it. What it's really been a great year for, and usually always is our peppers. These are a not spicy variety. These are, they're called frying peppers, sweet frying peppers. These are some Anaheims that can be spicy or not spicy. It kind of depends. The jalapenos, turns out we had them with something last night. They're extremely spicy. But there are literally peppers everywhere that have done well. These are lemon drops. They're pretty spicy. These are like my favorite, and I wish I'd realized what they were and what they would do earlier on. We would have put these in the front, because they taste great. They're purple cayennes, and they're good and hot, and they're spicy. But actually really pretty. It's also really pretty if you can keep it trimmed down to a bush, which we didn't do with this one, obviously. But I really like these, and I think we'll plant some more of them and maybe treat them in part as ornamentals in other areas. But there's peppers everywhere. There's always tons of basil everywhere. It's not worth showing you every different kind of basil or pepper, but know that they've done well, and they do well in these bags. These bags are really good for anything that likes a lot of drainage. Not much of anything else, but if they like drainage and they like semi-poor soil sometimes, they do really well in these bags. one more tomato vine to show you. This is the one that we just had extra tomatoes and I put down my homemade compost and just planted them. And they've done really well, and this is all they've gotten. The other tomatoes have gotten some worm feed and fairly regular watering, but these have not been touched. I just planted them in this compost, have not fed them at all, and have just let them go. And we've been getting quite a few, and they did really well here. So yeah, that's great. We'll transition to this flower border now because that's where I'm at. The Cleons are still doing really good. Like I said, they've been going since probably June. Got a lamb's quarter that needs to come out. We'll take care of that later. Another lamb's quarter. We've been pulling a lot of it, but trying to keep it from going to seed. Not have to deal with it next year. But really, other than it, everything in here is really, really pretty. This border's done well. It'll get some more work come winter time. Some things need to come out. I really like these. I noticed these the other day, and they provide a nice structure along the side, and it's a nice little pink color. That like soft pink and a different shape and texture. And no, I don't remember what they're called. I'm sure Babe will tell me. And then just some of the more of the dahlias in here. Also in this tunnel, that's supposed to be the kiwi tunnel, that has never been the kiwi tunnel. The bitter melons are coming. I know they aren't big. You think of melons as big, but they're coming. They're great in stir fries. Not so much on their own, but they're a great little addition to a stir fry. So I'll probably be picking them and doing that before too long. And then the real surprise here, which is what I hoped for, is my Spanish flag from last year. I kind of let it and wanted it to self-seed, and it has done that and begun to take over this fence line here, which is wonderful. And hopefully it's going to self-seed again. You see lots of little bees and things pollinating it. I think the hummingbirds really like it as well. But really happy about how the Spanish flag is done. So here's the passion fruit. It's doing really well. They're supposed to turn like a purplish color. You can see that one. We won't get it, but there's tons of them on here. Hopefully they ripen. Hopefully they taste good. I can't remember if I've ever eaten passion fruit, but we'll find out if they taste good and all that coming soon, because it looks like we're going to have plenty of them here, which I'm really, really happy about. So let's talk grapes. This vine's going well. Turns out I actually had these two vines confused. I mean, I know when they were planted, but this one is most likely the purple grapes. This one over here is not. These are the summits, which tend to be more golden. Occasionally they're purple, and this vine is doing exceptionally well. And we're even. I've already had quite a few. That one's probably about the right color, maybe a little firmer than I'd like, but yeah, really tasty, really sweet. The way a lot of muscadines are is that's why you don't get them in supermarkets. The skin's really thick and it can be a little tart, but what you really want is the inside. You can actually, some people pop them out of the skins. I prefer like so, and pop them in their mouth. I kind of like the tartness, so I will tend to just pop the whole thing in my mouth, and then when I'm done I will spit out the skin. So yeah, got a crop of these finally. So now we have the greenhouse beds. They're a little overgrown. Again, couldn't really keep up with things like we normally would or wanted to, but the callas are doing well. Cannas, those aren't callas, those are cannas. They're doing well. We'll come over here to the other side and take a look. That ice plant's doing really well. All this is doing really good. There's still some lamb's quarter. We pulled it, like I said, we pulled a lot, but there's still, it's a problem. We let it go last year because the bees liked it, and that was a mistake. This is the mother of thousands, and she's doing really well, too well. I have tons of them in there. I'm going to have to pull them out and pot them or do something with them. Obviously, they had the potential to be very invasive, but they were a very interesting plant too. So I'm probably going to propagate them, maybe give some away. We'll see. And then I talked about this some last week, my tree that's down. It is on the asparagus bed. It's kind of knocking over the Jerusalem artichoke bed. It's not hurting them that much, but I need to get this stuff cut back and I'll walk around. It's also keeping us from weeding a lot of stuff or cutting it down that I would normally cut down. It's kind of hard to get in here because there's branches in here. But you can see it's down. It's a big tree. I gotta get someone to get out here. I'm not comfortable with the way it's sitting or cutting on it myself. And also I've been debating whether I want to get the whole thing chopped up or if I just want to get it chopped up back to the tree line and then let the rest of it fall and lay where it's at. I'm tending towards the latter, but we will see. It's also kind of changed the way the water flows. I haven't really investigated that too hard other than to make sure it's still flowing out, and it is, and we will probably look more at that come the winter and talk about that. But the other thing you can see in here is, and I said that was an old video last week, but yeah, there's the elephant ears. These two were just the two that were left over from the shade garden that I planted in here. And if you have any doubts about how big that is, like that's bigger than my head by far, and we'll show you the rest of them. Yeah, so the pawpaw's doing really well. The elephant ears are doing great. This needs to be weeded again. I've done it a few times. That elephant ear is not doing too great. But then over here, some of the larger ones are. We're also starting to get, it got hot, so the hostas kind of went away. And now that's cooling off. Some of the hostas are coming back. But that's probably the largest elephant ear that we have here. So that's pretty amazing. I'm really happy with that guy. Really happy with how the elephant ears have done. The hostas, like I said, are coming back. So yeah, it's not too bad along here in the shade garden. It's still got work. It's a long-term project. You know, if you can't afford to have mature plants brought in, if you can't afford to like have everything dug up and super mulched and do all this work all at once, then things become a long-term project. And I like that because it also allows me to adjust, and as my tastes change or I discover new plants, like I have somewhere to put them. So these are really lovely today. You know, these are all messing up my shot, but we'll leave it. But yeah, they're really pretty. I like them. Marigolds, right? Probably, maybe. If not, I'll get corrected. So I don't want to go over all the fruit trees today, but I do want to check out the figs, which are doing really well. These aren't quite ready. They'll be ready soon. But this fig bush and the other one, or fig tree, really, eventually, are doing pretty well. Yeah, as you can see, this one's doing well. This one's got some ripe ones. If you've never had, well, that's not quite right. If you've never had fresh fig, it's not like a fig Newton at all. They're pretty good. It reminds me, I don't know, I would describe it almost as like a peach. Something tried to get to that one already. You have to be pretty quick out here with them. So yeah, they're doing all right. We're gonna go ahead and pull that one too. So yeah, figs. There's all the zinnias in the driveway garden. I had to tie them up. They were falling over. They need to be deadheaded too, some of them. They too have been giving color since like June, July. Are really long lasters here. They seem to enjoy this area. So yeah, I'm real happy with that. You know, that's part of the key, is like looking at what has done well and finding the beauty and not stressing over what isn't doing well. You just kind of work with it and work around it and try to do better next time. And these are some of the shorter ones on the back side. This is a nice little display here. Yeah, real happy with that. I did not get out here early enough to catch them open, unfortunately, but trust me, they do open, and it's very pretty. They're pretty like this. As you see, these moths are really enjoying the Persian blue catnip. These are pretty much spent, and they're just here for structure. I'm still getting some dahlias. Some of them look better than others, but they've done really well. This bed is doing what I want it to do with a lot of annuals, either self-feeding or some perennials that are going to come back every year. It needs a good weeding again. It gets one fairly regularly. This, actually, I keep forgetting I planted this in here because it keeps getting overgrown, but the Persian shield looks really good. So yeah, it's pretty good. This is not its best time. Unfortunately, during that time I missed a lot of opportunities to film it. Probably have some scattered film. But yeah, it's still here. We've moved my gnome, get it, my gnome in here, my meditating gnome, which is good. He was ready for it to change the scenery. And yeah, it's still the most comfortable place to sit outside here. It still doesn't get any sun this time of year. And on that, I will leave you with the meditating gnome.